In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. You know, today I'd like to focus on the fourth decade of the Rosary, the Assumption. When we think about that mystery, we recall how Mary was taken up into heaven, body and soul. You know, I like that mystery because it gives me an opportunity to preach about heaven. I'm reminded of the little anecdote about the priest who, while giving a homily to children seated around him at the altar, asked them what you had to do to get to heaven. And one of the kids said, "You have to die first." No, of course, he was right. But we should not be afraid of death. I'd like to share with you, I think, was one of the most beautiful stories I ever heard. A little boy had a terminal illness. He knew he was dying. One day he asked his mother, "Mom, what's it like to die? Will it hurt?" And the mother thought for a moment as she searched for an answer to his question. And then she said, "Jimmy, do you remember when you used to play with your friends all day? You'd be so tired that when we'd sit around and watch TV afterwards, you'd fall fast asleep in the chair with your clothes on. Well, that wasn't where you belonged. But in the morning, you always woke up where you did belong, in your own bed. Your dad carried you up the stairs into your room and tucked you into your own bed where you belong." And she continued, "I think that's what death is like. It's like waking up some morning and finding yourself in another room, in the place where you belong, in heaven, safe in the loving arms of Jesus." Folks, I think that's a great analogy. I think that dying is like going to sleep somewhere here on earth and waking up in heaven. According to a beautiful little legend, one day Jesus made a tour of heaven just to make sure everything there was in order. And then on one of the side streets, he encountered people who seemed to have no business being there at that time. That he thought they should have been serving a long period in purgatory. And he stormed out towards the gate where Peter was checking the new arrivals. And Jesus said, "Simon Peter, what has been going on here?" And Peter said, "What have I done now?" And Jesus said, "You let a lot of people in who don't belong here." And Peter said, "I didn't do it." And Jesus said, "Well, then who did?" And Peter said, "You won't like it." And Jesus said, "Tell me anyway." And Peter said, "Well, I turned them away from the front gate, and then they go around to the back gate, and your mother lets them in." Okay, folks, it's only a fable. But you know what? I really do believe that Mary, our Blessed Mother, helps a lot of people to get into heaven. How often do we pray the Hail Mary and pray for us sinners now and at the hour of our death? I really believe that Mary hears our prayer, and at the hour of our death, she does pray to Jesus for us. I believe that she leads us to our new home in heaven. You know, the great violinist Itzhak Perlman says that before he was 4 years old, two things happened to shape his future in an irreversible way. He was stricken with polio, and he heard a recording of the violinist Jascha Heifetz. The polio took away his legs, but Heifetz's music gave him a dream that set him on the road to musical greatness. Itzhak Perlman had a dream of becoming a concert violinist, and that kept him going in the midst of his suffering. So now I'd like to tell you what keeps me going in the midst of my personal sufferings. I have a dream of someday being welcomed into the kingdom of heaven, where there will be no more suffering. I have a dream of once again being united with my mom, my dad, my brother John, so many friends and confreres whom I miss so much. So now why did I choose this topic to talk about during this pandemic. Well, as we know, many, many people have died and will continue to die because of this virus. Let us pray that they all have or will have received comfort, knowing that death here in this life means a life in heaven for all eternity. That they will be in a place where there will be no more sickness. They will be in a place where there will be no more social distances. They will be there with Jesus, our Blessed Mother, and all their loved ones. And they will be there for all eternity. O Mary, conceived without sin, pray for us who have recourse.